If you can do this retake, you can literally do anything. Well, anything except get a girlfriend. Here's what it looks like. I honestly feel like I've underestimated how skilled you guys are. I'm bringing you guys the hardest retake I have ever done, and there are so many flashy and useful mechanics involved. Now I'm gonna break this apart so it's as easy as possible for you to learn. After learning this retake, my editing speed honestly got so much faster, my piece control got way better, and my movement now is insane, and I use a regular keyboard so anybody can do this. The first person to tweet me a video of them doing this will win $25. But Exalted, is it even a good retake? Yes, it is. There is an insanely hard mechanic at the end that will always outplay your opponent, so make sure you at least learn that part because it is my favorite. Now, this retake is even harder than the fact that all my creator code money goes to giveaways for you guys. The next item I am giving away is a scuff controller, but first I have to give away this Model O, which I'll be announcing on Twitter at the same time as my next video, so stay tuned for that. To enter, all you have to do is follow me on Twitter and send me a picture of you using code Exalted in the item shop. But with that being said, let's get straight into the flashiest yet hardest retake I will ever teach you guys. For this retake, we're obviously going to be using my map because it will maximize your FPS and will give you the lowest input delay possible, and trust me, you are going to need that. Now on top of that, when you mess up and fail, which you will do a lot, it'll teleport you back to the start and it'll allow you to instantly break all the builds so you don't waste any time. Now I separated this retake into 4 separate parts: the opener, the side jump transition, the block transition, then the final crank transition, which is the hardest but most important because it cheeses high ground. So with that being said, let's get straight into part 1, the opener. This is super easy. You can do any flashy edit or build into a wall like this. Once you have edited through this wall, you're going to start the retake. You're going to start it by quickly placing a ramp above and below you. Now notice your crosshair placement. There's no point in whipping up and down the screen. Try to find the middle section so you barely have to move your mouse. Then surround yourself with walls everywhere except for the one spot on the left and finish that off with a cone. Here's what it looks like in full speed. Now this leads us into part 2, the first transition. Be aware of your movement from part 1, so make sure you are setting yourself up well for this transition. This is where it starts to get harder, so pay attention. You're going to jump out and drag walls everywhere except for your right side. Oftentimes I would miss the final wall, so make sure you are calculated with this. To catch yourself, you're going to need to place a ramp below you, but you also need to place a ramp above you so that you don't mess up your edit for the next part 3. Getting this last wall and getting the ramp above my head made me mess up this edit all the time. Here's what putting both part 1 and part 2 together will look like in full speed. So now that you have that down, it's time for the really hard but super easy to learn portion. The better you do at part 1 and 2, the easier part 3 will be. It's all about setting yourself up well. To kick this off, you're going to edit the wall and epically jump out like a boss. You're going to look as high as you can, place walls, and then a pyramid on top. Now before you land, you need to look down and catch yourself with a floor and a ramp. This was hard because you have to look in place super quickly. I would constantly floor myself because I didn't look straight down fast enough, or I would pyramid myself because I got impatient and I wouldn't place the pyramid high enough. Now you can easily practice this by just doing a simple drill like this, but this leads us into the hardest but my favorite part of the retake. This uses the coolest jumping mechanic to give yourself a super jump at the end and totally psych your opponent out. Now this is by far one of the hardest things I have ever learned in my Fortnite career, so do not get demotivated. If you want to make this easier, wear my incredibly cozy merch made by me for you. The materials will make your mouse movement feel so smooth and will keep your controller hands the perfect temperature so that they never shake. Now assuming you've done everything right so far, all you have to do is place 2 walls to connect a ramp to, then you're going to jump as high on the ramp as possible. When placing this ramp, you need to look straight down, or else you will also place a ramp above you, messing everything up. You will also need to be very patient with your wall placement or you will just end up walling yourself, and trust me, I did that so many times. Once you have placed the ramp, you're going to immediately place a floor below you, starting the phase boost. Try to stay on the left corner so you don't phase under your next ramp. Now immediately after you've placed the floor, place another ramp, and if you've done it all correctly, you can start cranking 90s from there. All of this together will look like this, and boom, Just like that, you can now do the hardest retake I have ever seen. Now remember, the first person to send me a video of them doing this successfully will win $25, and this is thanks to everyone using my code. We had extra money, so I'm obviously going to be giving it away to you guys. Finally, be sure to enter into my giveaway by sending me a picture of you using code EXALTED in the item shop, and if you're still watching, you should probably just subscribe. Peace out, guys, and good luck. You're gonna need it.